guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at one of my favorite undisclosed locations because we have a very special car. This is a 2020 Toyota 86 Hakone Edition. But before we get into this special car, let's talk a little bit about the history of the 86. So Toyota and Subaru got together to come up with a plan to build the perfect handling sports car. Subaru has the BRZ, Toyota the 86. Now, we knew it as the Scion FRS originally, but Scion has gone away and Toyota has decided, well, hey, let's take the same name that we use around the world, bring it to the United States with this 86. One thing is for certain, that if you want a pure sports car, nice lightweight, great feedback and handling, this 86 is really going to check off all the boxes. And what makes it even better is that it's paying honor to a very special road in Tokyo, Japan called the Hakone Turnpike. It's a very tight, twisty road that many years ago people were using for their drifting scene, for that drifting scene to explode in Japan. So Toyota wanted to honor that because that's what this car is about, that rear-wheel drive, light nimbleness that's gonna rip up and down that Hakone Turnpike like a champ. One thing is for certain, that if you want a special sports car that still offers the engagement of a 6-speed manual transmission and nice lightweight, this might be the perfect one to put in your garage. So let's go ahead, dive into this 86 and see, is the Hakone the one for you? Right off the bat, the finish, that emerald metallic green. I hope you like the green because that's the only color that you could get this edition in. It's literally called Hakone Green. At the front end of the business, with the 86 and the BRZ, they made one revision. In 2017, they redid the front fascia, some of the rear, and then some of the bits on the interior and also under the hood, but that's the only revision. That's what we still have. So this is the shape of your headlight housing. You got a little bit of chrome trim. I don't know if you could see the 86 badge on the interior there. Full LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. Really love the shape of the chrome, how it comes to a point on the interior. You drop down, a little bit of flat black, not really trying to look like a vent, so we're not gonna zonk it, but you do have really tasteful fog lamps, gonna help illuminate the road in front of you as you're going down your twisty bits. Now, as we come across the front end, I really have grown to love the front end of this vehicle. When I first saw it, I thought it looked like a catfish, but I guess I love catfish because I'm really digging the way that this has a nice identifiable shape. My only zonk is I wish they would have bronzed out the Toyota badge like they did on the wheels. Really, I think would have had that cohesive touch to it. But you have flat black, all open, functional grille, and then I love the way Toyota takes that lower front fascia and extends it out really sharply. That's gonna help give you downforce and scoop lots of air into that front radiator opening. Now, when we go up onto the hood, there's two slight indentations that start on the front fascia, go into the hood, and then other than that, the hood is super smooth like a lake that has not a ripple on it. On each side though, you have a high peak, both passenger and driver, of course. What that's gonna do is gonna give you the perfect vantage point to hit those apexes as you're going down your favorite twisty road or your favorite racetrack. Wheel and tire setup. So on the Hakone Edition, you get your Hakone Green, you get the bronze, metallic bronze wheels. Really love the style. 17-inch wheel, 215 on the width, 45 series sidewall. My only zonk is I wish they would have added the Brembo brake setup, the 4-piston Brembo calipers with the sack suspension that you could get on the BRZ Performance Pack. I think being a special car, especially talking about that awesome twisty road in Tokyo, Japan, that just would have added to the specialness and also the feedback that you're getting behind the wheel. But still, from an aesthetic standpoint, looks spot on the money. As we go into the fender, you have this very tasteful treatment here. Not trying too hard to look like anything that it's not, so we're not gonna zonk it. I love the 86 badge. That 86 badge has so much history there and looks perfect right on the side. You have color matched mirror caps, flat black around the window treatment, and then the roof is one of the best looking roofs. They have these two raised areas on both sides, and then the middle is a little bit lower. You have a shark fin antenna, really smooths everything out. You come to the rear, look at how the rear of the car just kind of has a nice flared out fender look. And then when we look at the rear tire and wheel and setup, you're still gonna have two 15s out back. So two 15s up front, two 15s out back. I wish they would have went with some Michelin Super Sport tires rather than the Primacy tires, give you a little bit more stick. But still, like I said, from a look standpoint, I love the look of this vehicle. Now, when we get to the back, here are some of those things that were changed for 2017. So this was a new wing. It's actually aluminum in the center. It's got the color matched end plates. It's a pedestal style spoiler on the trunk here. You have your chrome Toyota badge. Like I was saying, I think you'd agree with me that this should be bronze. These are the updated taillights for 2017 that are still on the 2020. Full LED taillights and turn signals. Really has a nice look the way they extend out from the actual body of the vehicle. And then the rear diffuser is so drop dead sexy. Nice massive rear diffuser. You have large exhaust opening, one on each side. Really has a balanced look. Let's go ahead, pop the hood though, and see what's powering this 86 Hakone Edition. All right guys, we do have the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, but it is very far over to the passenger side. You can see underneath that hood, that is gonna be that flat 4 engine. So that's a boxer engine, 2-liter. If you also notice, you can see the structural bracing that they put at the front end of the business to stiffen up the front end, but you're looking at a 2-liter flat 4. Because this has a manual transmission, the 6-speed, you're looking at 205 horsepower. If you get an automatic, it's 200. It has 156 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, if you know what you're doing, is around 6.7 seconds. It weighs a very light 2,776 pounds. MPGs, 24 in the city, 32 on the highway. What I love about popping the hood on this car is that you see the engine. There's not a bunch of plastic under there. You can see the intake plenum. It has that nice red powder coated finish. And another thing, because it's a flat engine, and what that means when we say boxer is that the pistons are slapping back and forth horizontally. The engine is very, very low in the chassis. That's gonna help with handling. You could even see the transmission butting up against the back of the engine. That is, as an enthusiast, that's what I wanna see. Another thing that they did for 2017 is they revised the gearing to give you a little bit quicker acceleration, some of the work with the ECU. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 2-liter and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Hakone Edition. You know, every time I get in one of these cars, it just feels like you're in a small little race car. It really does. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I'm loving this special edition. The green has really got my juices flowing. Hopefully you got a towel for that. How much is this? MSRP is right at around $30,000, but let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, I love what they've done by taking the Alcantara material at the top of the door panel. Very nice touch. The lower portion, you're gonna get some leatherette material with that stitching, soft, real clean. You have a small pocket there for a bottle of water. You got your switch gear, and then you have the leather material over where the speaker cover is. Just clean. You don't need a lot of bells and whistles in here. Alcantara on your bump pad here. You got your Toyota 86 badge, soft touch material. Love how flat, for the most part, that this is. It just raises up a little bit for your AC vents. This has the 7-inch infotainment system screen. Real straightforward, and if you notice, it's green. I like those little touches. You drop down, you do have a dated LED. It almost looks like a Casio watch, but it's easy to read. You have dual climate control. I like the toggle switches for the AC. A little tiny cubby here for some race Jolly Ranchers. You do have a USB and an aux jack, nicely placed right there. Start stop button. Here's the magic though. This is where the magic happens. A nice slick shifting 6-speed manual transmission. Very mechanical and feel, great engagement. You have the ability to shut off your traction control and go into track mode easily with one button. Heated seats. Look at how they took the stitch work. That tan stitching they brought nicely into the boot and onto the good old-fashioned e-brake. This one has an armrest, sliding armrest, real easy to do. Love the two-tone material. You still got your cup holders and you can take it with you. It's a party on the go. And you have plenty of room in there for some nice race winning Twinkies. Also a 12-volt key fob. They took that same nice tan leather. That's where your key fob is going to be snug as a bug in a rug in there. And then the seats are absolutely spot on the money. The two-tone with the tan, the Alcantara, just enough bolstering to where you know you're going to be held into place. You do have manual seats for both the passenger and the driver, but the amazing thing is, even with this being a small car, look how much headroom I have. Those two notches that are raised on the roof that we were looking at in here gives you just enough space to put on your helmet. You have your side mirrors. They're like a plastic material, and you do have vanity mirrors, which is nice in case you want to look at yourself right before you're about to turn your fast laps. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the leather wrap wheel of this 86. All right, guys, business time. Nice large door opening. Getting into the seat, you're able, even with the manual seat controls, get it to fit your body. Look at what we got for pedals. You have all brushed aluminum dead pedal, clutch, brake pedal, and throttle. And then look at this, heel, toe, downshift all day long. Steering wheel, small, doesn't need to be flat bottom because look at how small it is. They brought that tan stitch work. You got the 86 badge, flat black on the buttons there, and then the gauge instrumentation is so spot on the money. You have a nice white face tach. You got your fuel gauge and speedometer built into there through a TFT display. On the right, you have that TFT display where you could actually go through different readouts. You got your gauges, and you have an analog speedometer, nicely organized, really just spot on the money for hitting your marks. Back seat is not existent. I'm not getting into the back. I want to increase our driving of this Hakone Edition, but let's go ahead before we take this for a spin. Let's check out the trunk and see how usable it is. All right, guys, now one of the cars that obviously this car is going to compete with is going to be the Subaru BRZ, which is the same exact car, but another one, believe it or not, is the Mazda Miata. And here's where this car, besides the solid roof for that security while you're inside, here's where it's going to kick the Mazda's butt. You open up the trunk, look at the amount of space here. Nice opening for such a small car. Plenty of room in here to where you could bring some of the essentials for your next track day, for your autocross event. I love the 86 badging with the two-tone color motif. Very nicely done. We're gonna pull up the mat here. You even have a spare. So this car isn't about, you know, cutting all the weight out and not giving you a spare. You even get a spare, but let's go ahead. Let's get to the best part. Talking about this car is nice. It's in the doing. Let's go ahead. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this car for a spin. All right, guys, we're here at the Twisty Bits. We're in the Toyota 86 Hakone. First gear, on throttle. Here we go. Love just revving it out. Second gear. Look at this. Look how it handles like a go-kart. Usable power. Love the sound of the engine. Nice, look at this. Yeah. Ooh, really, really great with how flexible the RPM range is in this thing. Good balance, good feedback. It's really that pure form of what a sports car is. May not have 100 extra horsepower, may not have 500 horsepower, but what it does have is a nice balanced chassis, a smooth shifting 6-speed manual transmission, and that great induction sound coming from the flat 4 engine. Just a pleasure to drive. Love all the little extra touches that you get with the Hakone Edition. The two-tone interior with the tan and the Alcantara. Just the steering, there's not many cars out there where you feel this connected. It really is as pure as a Miata. Miata would be a little bit more pure just because it's a convertible, but having a solid roof over your head really allows you to have a nicely set up chassis in this car. Unbelievable. Guys, here we go again. First gear, on throttle, a little bit of chirp, screeching tires, a happy tire. Second gear, feels good. Wind it all the way out to 7,500 RPM. Nice. Dab of the brakes a little bit. Yeah. So smooth. I love it. Just carry the R's. Dab of the brakes. Look at that. Nice. Really nice. Alright guys, here we go. Towards some twisties. Nice. Look at this. Just love the way she dances and so balanced. Didn't even have to shift there. Look at this transition. Carry throttle. Nice. God, I'm telling you, this car is a blast. You know, you're not worried about losing traction. You're able to just put that throttle down, get on throttle, and if you know how to take the turns and how to work the brakes and everything and how to shift properly, you're gonna have an absolute blast in this car every single time you drive it. Guys, here we go. On throttle. Downshift. Look at this, look at this. Yeah. Look at this. Yes. You feel like you're in a race car, man. This thing, you carry so much speed. And that's the thing is, if you make a boo-boo, you're screwed because you don't have the extra horsepower to pull you out of it. So you got to make sure you're on it every single time. The sound, the shifts are so short, so mechanical, so crisp. There's not a lot of cars that make you feel this good when you get it right. Like I said, if I was in a car that had 500, 600 horsepower, you make a mistake, the horsepower will help you correct it once you get to the straightaway. But in this particular car, especially if you're on a road course with other cars, you make a mistake, it's gonna kill your lap time. So that's another reason why I love these types of cars, is that it's really about the driver, not about how much horsepower you have. Overall, I like from Lori's 2016 BRZ to this, they've made a few refinements. It feels a little bit more well put together on the interior. Like there's some extra sound deadening, just very well sorted by 2020. Car first was seen in 2013, so 7 years worth of refinement really pays big dividends in this big picture. All right, guys, here we go once again. On throttle, smoke them if you got them. Nice little chirp. This car just puts a smile on your face. It's so balanced. Just carry your speed. Look at this. Watch this. This is my favorite part. Great clutch feedback, great throttle response. I wish that this had the performance pack that you could get on the BRZ. That would include the SAC suspension, the Brembo 4-piston calipers. I think that would even help more so with the balance and braking, but still in its stock base form, it really brings it to the table in those pieces. All right, guys, I'm gonna try to be quiet in this one. Just look for the smile on my face. you notice I didn't even have to downshift at all. That's the beauty in it. You just carry those revs, just let the engine do the work. Didn't have to go up and down the gearbox and whatnot. It really helps overall with staying focused and hitting your marks. Really, really phenomenal, fun car. You got to get over it not having a lot of horsepower. That's the one thing. That's the one thing about it that I think turns everybody off, a lot of people off at least. And would it be nice to have an extra 100 horsepower? Sure. But as you saw, for a balanced chassis, I was able to keep my foot on throttle a major part of that time going through the twisties, and it felt really good. All right, guys, last set of bends on throttle. Just love the feedback coming to the steering wheel. Look at this. I love the sound too. Just carrying that speed. Amazing to have that kind of nimbleness. You feel like you're in a little race car. You really do. Well, hopefully this gave you a nice feel for what the Toyota 86 Hakone Edition is all about. We're gonna get back to our undisclosed location and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another amazing day with this 2020 86 Hakone Edition. I definitely got to thank Corey and Zach and everybody at Toyota USA for allowing us access here at Rady's Rides to this press fleet vehicle. It's one of those cars. Yes, you could say, I need more of this, I need more of that, but when you look at the true essence of it, it's such a balanced, engaging, fun car to drive. So raw and visceral, but yet you could drive it every single day and enjoy it every single day. But if it's cars like these sports cars that just are different than whatever else is out there that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to get it up to Big Guns McGee, getting this car on camera, holding it all one hand the whole time. So thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.